to the Marshfield School Committee meeting on Tuesday, March 10th. I'll have Mrs. Dargish call the roll, as we are still minus Mrs. Pazurski.
No, I have my notes ready. Roll call here.
Mr. Greer, yes?
Yes,
Mrs.
right
Greer.
here.
Mr. Costello, not here. It's okay, Lauren, that's all right. You got there. And Mrs. Stetson did not make it tonight. If you could please rise and join me for the pledge of
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wonder if I could ask the students in the back to help me with this one, if you guys wouldn't mind standing up and helping lead us in the Peace Builders Pledge. I am a peace builder.
I pledge to praise people, to give up accounts, to seek wise people, to notice and speak up about hurts I have caused, to right wrongs, to help others. I will build peace at home, at school, on the bus, and in my community each day.
Hey, you guys always throw in the on the bus. Could we have a round of applause for our students? Under the open meeting law, I'm informing the public that this meeting is being videotaped by Marshfield Community Media. If anybody else is taping this meeting, either audio or video, please notify us as such at this time. Seeing none, we have two different spotlights on excellence. Which one are we starting with? Special recognition?
Yes.
I think that's great. Why don't I turn it over to you to recognize our custodians, our awesome custodial staff led by Bob Battis and his entire team for all of their incredible work after the blizzard of 2026.
Yeah. Yes, I just want to say, as you said, the blizzard of 2026. Some of us who were around in 78, you always said the blizzard of 78. I think the snow totals have grown over the years, and this was very similar. You know, we had a, as you know, historical blizzard, and I couldn't be any luckier to have such an amazing crew here. When I came back after some years away from Marshfield, came back as superintendent, one of the things that I was struck by was how cohesive and amazing our custodial team is the whole district wide. These gentlemen and ladies do an amazing job and deserve recognition every day. But we wanted to pay them special recognition for the work they did under unbelievable circumstances. I mean, if you could see what they had to deal with, particularly in some of these lots with the drifts, they had to literally shovel themselves out in to get to the buildings. It was pretty unbelievable with the snow drifts. But I want to introduce Mr. Bob Battis, who's our assistant facilities manager, who can introduce the team he has here. And there are others who couldn't make it tonight, but also deserve recognition. So, Mr. Battis.
I just want to say just two things, and it'll be quick, and welcome everybody. These guys have done stuff that I just find unbelievable day after day, but during the storm, it took us 2 days to get down Blue Silver Way, which is right next to the high school. It was that bad, and I made a comment to somebody that time, if you had a fire there, the school would have been in a lot of trouble because the fire truck wouldn't get down, a police vehicle wouldn't get down, we would have needed a loader, and the loaders are busy in town. But we had 3 guys who volunteered, and one of the guys had been there on his own earlier in the day, and he said, Bobby, we can't all go in because if we get stuck, we won't get out. So I took kind of the 3 healthiest guys I had at the time, which was Mike Torchetti, Mike McNeely, stand up Mike McNeely, and there was another gentleman we had here with us, Anderson Dalton, who's at Mass Maritime, and Will, you were part of that crew. You can stand up too. And they all took, well, Greg came a different angle. These guys have done Blue Silver Way, and they had their backpacks on, and they knew going in, because geez, you crawled to get through the hedgerows. I don't know how to get it. I couldn't do it, and there were a lot of us who couldn't. You guys got there and gave us a little foothold so we could kind of all get in. But it took a couple of days, 2.5 days. We needed heavy equipment, we never got it. We only have so much And then Greg came from another angle, he lives in the apartments behind, you can see another Greg, behind the school, and he dug in from the apartments into the school, so they both met up. Created a little gap for all of us to get in, or else nobody was getting in. And I wanted to say about Mike Gerard, he's a senior custodian over the furnace board. You guys were just pounded. Your entryway was almost up to the ceiling on the entryway in the front. There's pictures around town, and you show up, and you know I did it. Where do we start? You know, and you guys stuck with it. We talk all the time, because what we do there is we all try to leave at the same time. You know, the Martinson might be all set, but the high school won't, so they'll come over to help us and vice versa. We all try to help each other, because I like to be the last person off the campus, and I want to make sure that three schools are all set. And these guys, Mike McNeely, Mike, you know, you make it work, and you guys, just a tireless workers. And Scotty, you came in, you got us down, stand up. You got us in down there that day, and you did so many incredible things. And the snowball, even using the snowballs, the snow's up to here, and the snowball's going up to here. And it really is a battle. These guys get a snowblower, and they'd shovel the snow down, and they'd blow it out to the side. But we're moving half a foot every 10 minutes. And if you saw the progress of the high school, it's just been, I can't thank you enough. I thank you, the school committee, for acknowledging us tonight. It's great. These guys will tell you they didn't do anything special, but they really did. They're special people. And they were working the whole time. I think all of them, nobody had any power for about 4 days. They were home wet, damp, and, you know, it was miserable. We kept things going. We finally got hit equipment Thursday. You know, thanks to you, Pat, you did a lot to help us through, because I know you're up here every day asking me, what do you think, and I never had good news for you. You stayed positive with us.
Yeah, we were really trying for Friday, but it wasn't.
Oh, yeah. And I hated giving you bad news every day. I was like, it wasn't your bad.
Well, the work is really appreciated, and not just the work during the blizzard, but the work every day. You know, the custodians are an important part of our school cultures. Mike Silveri, who's the Daniel Webster, you can give him a round of applause. Over at South River, the Pete over at the Granatino. All of our custodians are amazing. Mike Silveri just won our Belonging Builders Award, which was given out by Daniel Webster, not just because he was a good custodian, but because he helped build a culture here at Daniel Webster. So I'm very proud to give him that award last week. But thank you, gentlemen, for coming in, and thank you for your continued excellence and great work. On behalf of the school committee, we're going to give you these certificates for getting through the historic blizzard of 2026. So thank you all again. Thank you all. School committee, want to do a quick picture of them?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Should also be said that Assistant Superintendent Tom Miller does a lot of work during the blizzard and coordinates a lot, so Tom deserves a quick round of applause.
Thanks, folks.
You had a good crowd here, we know. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Okay, next is our spotlight on excellence here at Daniel Webster School. As I say, opportunity to be here. I went to Daniel Webster School, so I love coming back to Daniel Webster and seeing all of the wonderful things that you are doing here, Principal McNeil. So I'll turn it over to you for our spotlight on it.
Certainly. I just wanted to say welcome, start us off with welcome, welcome school committee, welcome district leaders, welcome to our site council members. I see you up there, thank you for coming. Welcome to our teachers back there, shout out to our teachers. Welcome to our families, and welcome to our students who are joining us tonight. So real quick, just before I get started, I just have a quick little snapshot for you. DWS is a very busy place right now. With Read Across America, as you walk through our fair, we have a Read Across America reading challenge happening. Mrs. McBride, Mrs. Ford, Mrs. Lombardi put this on. The top 2 classes that read the most during our 3-week challenge are earning a private tour of Fenway Park in June. So it's very exciting. Our PTO is sponsoring it. We have the DWS Green Monster out there. Mr. DeRosa and Mrs. McBride have been meticulously making sure it looks exactly like Fenway Park out there. So you'll have to take a peek when you walk by to see which classes are winning. But just really, really exciting. So I just wanted to give Mrs. McBride and Mrs. Ford, who are here tonight, a quick shout out. Also, earlier last week, last Monday, we were joined by Jacob Wyckoff from WBZ News. I don't know if anyone was watching the news on Saturday morning, last Saturday at 7:30. It was a little early, but just a quick little snapshot. A shout out to us here at Read Webster.
WBZ is proud to bring science education to future generations, and that is why we do our next weather field trips. Jacob Wyckoff is back now to tell us about the school he visited this week. Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Christina. Good morning to all of my friends that I met this past week. Daniel Webster School in Marshfield, visited 3 different grades there. David Ellis in Boston, and Doyen School in Ipswich, the 3rd graders there. So that brings our seasonal total to 20 schools. I'm going to step out of the picture, show you all these bright smiling faces. 3 grades there.
Alright, so those are just a couple quick things that are happening here. Not my spotlight, but I thought it was worth mentioning. I just again want to recognize our site council members. Obviously, I'm on the team. Mrs. Jackson, Sherry Costello is our community rep. Lara Brake is our school committee liaison. We have Marilyn McBride, Christine Ian, and Coleman. And our parents are Jackie Mason, Megan Kennedy, and Carrie T-Bone. Just a quick reminder, sorry, my thing is a little delayed here. This is our school improvement plan. These are our 4 goals for the year. You'll notice that 3rd goal is all about strengthening the love of family and connection with reading and learning. So hence our baseball themed Read Across America challenge. Tonight, though, we are going to focus on number 1, our pillar 1, our goal around strengthening the culture of belonging. So we are going to highlight our music program here at Daniel Webster and the profound impact that it has on our community. Music at Daniel Webster is really special. So I know there's music all across our district. However, there's just really something special about the music here at Daniel Webster. And tonight, I hope you'll get a little snapshot to see why. At DWS, music really helps strengthen that connection, not only in the music classroom, but beyond. And it really helps every child find their voice in order to build their sense of belonging here at Daniel Webster. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Mackenzie Matheson, our music teacher. She's going to lead us through what happens in her music classroom, the magic that happens in her music classroom. Hi everyone, I'm Mackenzie Matheson. I'm a music teacher here at Daniel Webster. This is my 4th year here, and I've been having so much fun at Daniel Webster the past couple of years. Thank you to all the parents who brought out my students, your children today. So thank you for letting them come and join us for these short performances. One of my main goals in the music classroom is to build community, to make sure that music is accessible to all of our students and that everyone feels like they belong there. So hopefully that these students feel like they belong in the music room as well. It's really important to me that they have musical experiences regardless of their background and regardless of their
one thing that I did after my first year of teaching is I wrote a grant for ukuleles. So right now my fourth and fifth graders are playing the ukulele. So you see the fourth graders play it today, which is super special for them to be able to learn a new instrument and feel that strong sense of being able to play something and sing along and play something while they're doing it, which is really cool. Third graders are doing the recorders right now, and then fifth graders, of course, we do chorus as well. Another grant is the elementary music teachers right now are writing one for, or wrote one, we just put it in for work instruments. So hopefully we're going to see that upgrade of more telephones and xylophones to even become more accessible for all students around here. So we're going to start with our performances. So the third graders can come on up.
I should get it set up. I'm just going to show you little snippets of our music class.
Here we go. Alright, so here are our third graders. We're going to do a couple songs that they've been learning. So here's the first one, Hot Cross One. Hopefully you know it.
It all paid off, parents.
Here's our second one. This one's called Gently Sleep. And our last one for the third grader performance. You probably know this song. Fourth grade. Okay, so the fourth graders prepared a couple songs. You'll probably recognize these ones as well. These are songs that you probably learned in preschool, but we're going to spin on it because we're playing the ukulele along while singing. So that can be really tricky to use both of your hands to play an instrument as well as singing. So it's three things going on that we were practicing, making a really amazing job at doing this. And there's great, so Tim, can you see it?
Never
Okay, here's our next one. You probably know this one as well.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up his tail again.
And one more for the fourth grade performance.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The doors on the bus go open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The doors on the bus go open and shut, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town.
All right, fifth grade. So we're going to be doing one of the songs that we performed at the winter concert. It's called Snow. Thankfully, it's melting a lot. So here's our song called Snow.
Feel the winter cool, feel the winter chill. Take a look outside, there's on a windowsill. Snow, 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 snow. How does anybody know just how much this
for Veterans Day, some of our audience members are actually here that day. We had families and veterans from across the town come, and tons of people conducted some songs for our veterans that day. She does an incredible job. Here at Daniel Webster, we have 2 MELT classrooms, multi-age learning center classes. Mackenzie works hard to make sure that she adapts the music curriculum to meet the needs of our students in those programs. She also works with our teachers. Our new EL curriculum has a lot of connections with song. And this is just one quick example. Did you want to speak about this? This is from
Yeah, I was working with the first grade teachers, and in their curriculum, there are a bunch of songs in there, and a lot of the first grade teachers are not feeling up to teaching their students how to sing those songs. So some of the songs are about feathers and birds, more songs about the moon and stars, another one about tools and how they help us do our work. So I worked with the first grade teachers creating videos to help the students learn how to do these songs, which was really good to be able to memorize things and incorporate them in the academic classes. So here's one of the songs.
Tools can help us do our work, do our work, do our work. Tools can help us do our work. They make work easier. The builder and a hammer go tap, 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 tap.
Probably know this song. Yep.
The tools make work easier, does he?
So that was for our first grade unit on tools and community helpers. And you've seen this before, I brag about this a lot, but Mackenzie actually wrote our Daniel Webster song. So I think our students are going to perform it, but there's something he said every monthly assembly, the entire cafeteria filled with students sings this song. Okay, I have a little snapshot of that as well for you. But students, do we want to sing this song for everyone tonight? It is really, really special. Yes. Go ahead and sing that one. Let's go ahead and sing it. Ready, go.
Daniel Webster School is awesome. Let me tell you why. The teachers and the girls and boys are the best that you can find. You can see their happy faces walking down the hall. Daniel Webster School, we love you. You're the greatest school of all.
That wasn't moving enough. Here's a little snapshot of the entire Alright, so that's just a quick snapshot. Now, so real quick, I think a lot of people in this room, many of our district leaders, school committee, you may have heard rumblings of this, but earlier this year, Mrs. Solara was able to send a group of staff members from our district, Mrs. Jackson was one of them, and they were doing training on the regulated classroom. So when I asked Jen to present the regulated classroom to our staff during a staff meeting, Jen found in reaching out that there were so many connections between the regulated classroom and music. She's just going to share a little bit about that for you.
So the regulated classroom includes 4 practices, and I won't go into detail about all of them. But it's a framework that, those 4 practices are the framework for what teachers should be implementing, in their classroom throughout the day to regulate themselves and to regulate their students. One of the practices is called an activator, and its purpose is to energize the classroom and get your mind and your body ready for learning. But the activators are all rhythm-making practices, and they're meant to be a collective rhythm-making activity with your classroom or in a group. It could be whole school, and it promotes that sense of safety and community. So when I spoke with Mackenzie about presenting this to the staff, Mackenzie actually does a lot of these practices in her classroom on a daily basis, so dance, music, drumming, Rhythm 6. I know some of the district leaders had experience with Rhythm 6, clapping, and rhythm games. So Mackenzie, Miss Matheson obviously has those materials in our classroom, and she's become a great resource for the teachers when they want to implement those practices. So it's been great.
And that's it. So I hope you got a little snapshot of music here at Daniel Webster and how special it is to us and how it really integrates our belonging, our sense of belonging, connection, and value to our students and community. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you to our parents and our students for coming. Teachers, thank you for being here. And
So if you don't mind, we might have a couple questions or comments.
oh, certainly.
That's okay, we'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, first of all, this is awesome. I absolutely love seeing how things like this are integrated throughout the school day. Seeing it on display, I don't think we really ever had the opportunity to hear students play instruments to us at a school committee meeting, so thank you for doing that. Where's Miss Matheson? All I have heard about Miss Matheson for like 4 years now is how awesome she is. From like everybody that's worked with her, so if we could have a round of applause. And if I could, I want to ask if any brave student out there, and don't feel like you have to, but if any brave student wants to tell me, or us, what their favorite part of their music classes is. Go ahead, hand shot right up. Go right ahead.
My favorite thing is like when we do new hand motions, like and we learn dances with them.
Cool, awesome, yes.
Probably all the games that we do.
All the games that you do? What's your favorite game that you've played in music?
Ball the flop.
Miss Matheson, you're gonna have to tell me what that
Yes,
is.
it's super fun. All the kids ask for it. Every single grade we do bop or flop, where I play probably 10 songs with a theme. So if it's St. Patrick's Day music. If it's around the holiday music. And then they'll go to the side. If they like it, it's bop. If they don't like it, it's flop.
Love it, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
I like at the end of the week, if we do good, we get class points, and if we do good at game class, then we get a sticker, and if we get 5 stickers, then we do with game choices.
Nice, awesome, yes.
My favorite part of music class is getting to play all the fun games that we do, like singing and stuff.
Awesome. Anybody else want to add something? Yes, I'm sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
I like learning the songs.
Okay. What's your favorite song you've learned?
I don't know.
But a bunch of them. Yeah, we'll just go right down the row. Anybody else who wants to say something?
I like when we get to play the recorder in class and then show Miss Matheson.
Awesome.
I like in the beginning, like when we first get there, she does T and RV.
Awesome. You guys love Miss Matheson, obviously? Yeah.
Of
That's great. Of course. There you go, Miss Matheson. Yeah. Well, I think that's awesome. Arts education for, what it's worth. We're going through some tough times right now as a town, as a state, as a country with school funding, and there's going to be a lot of questions coming up. For me, arts education is untouchable. Arts education is so important. What we just saw on display just enriches learning so much. Like, I went to Daniel Webster myself. I haven't been at Daniel Webster School for 23 years as a student, and if I picked up a recorder today, I could still play my correspondence. It's one of those things that's seared. Yeah, it's one of those things that's seared into your memory. Yeah, that's it. But, yes, 6 recorders at Mr. Greer's house, one for each of his kids. But we very much appreciate it to all of you who are investing in music education and making it valuable for these students. Thank you very much. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
I just have another question. Did any of the students here play any instruments that we didn't see today at home? Just go down the line. I want to hear what they are.
I play the cello.
Amazing.
I play drums, guitar, ukulele.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I play the trumpet. I play the viola. I also play the viola. I play the trumpet. I play the flute.
Nice. Yes, yeah, that's really great.
I also picked that we should record that snow song, and next time we're gonna cancel school, just play that, right? I know.
Do you guys?
Next year.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
No, you guys pretty much covered it. I like the fact that people play viola. I play viola all over. Still play violin also. It's good to see the interest in the music.
Yes, absolutely.
Stick with it.
I just like to see a part of school that's fun, right? That you get excited about, that you want to go and do, and thank you to Ms. Maxon for helping make it fun. So keep doing what you're doing. So that's the kids singing.
No, I just obviously saw the amazing musicians, but it's great for student voice expression too. Absolutely. To see how activities like this really builds confidence, that transitions into belonging in their lives. But thank you, Ms. Patterson, and thank you to Principal Neal and Principal Jackson
And all their teachers in the audience too for encouraging you to
great,
get your
great team, great goal.
I want to give all of the students, as our final point here, just a lot of credit for having the courage to do what you just did, to play your instruments and to sing in front of the camera, in front of your families, and in front of all of us. So if we could have a round of applause. Maybe it's been
Thank you, Graham, for coming out.
Yes, thank you. You guys do not have to.
You're more than welcome.
My realtor slash mother.
Yep. Check me out today.
Multiple people at this table. All right, well, that was awesome. It was awesome. Before we go into anything else, I want to get our student representatives out here too. So I'll turn it over to you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm sure you enjoyed that, right? That was once you guys. So go right ahead. That's a big deal.
We've been working for school all year. Our next meeting event is invitation for the community, where all the associations come, and that is this Saturday, March 28th. Next, the MHS Mock Trial Club competed in a state competition last week, where they had a chance to lead a trial simulation of the relationships. Next is last Thursday's annual art program for the middle and high school students, sponsored by Lucky, was an incredible success, as students collaborated in creating original art. Our Theatrical Society did an incredible job of their film show, and their state theater festival preliminary round at Blank School. I was in the face. In addition to numerous awards for acting and technical excellence, their production of Sheep of Monsters was selected to advance to the semi-final rounds, which will be hosted at MHS this week.
Nice.
And then spring sports signups are underway, and the season is around the corner. I'm going to make a plug for Unified Track and Field for all their work.
Yeah, so kind of like going off of MASC and like what actually happened there. So we just returned from the annual annual NAIC conference. It happened last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we took back some vital information on how to improve and strengthen our school spirit and student council events. And we did this through various different workshops, and we learned by example from different schools across the state. And we kind of like took bits and pieces from every school's original ideas and kind of we brought it back and had a meeting today on how we can bring this back into our own council. Alongside the learning experience, the attending students had a great time. So there was a lot of fun things to do, like there was a scavenger hunt. We listened to a bunch of motivational speakers, like keynote speakers that speak across the country to student leaders. We partied at Home Coast Style Dance, so that was fun. And we met, and there was over 200 other students there. We met so many new people. So what you already said, like we received the Gold Council of Excellence Award, which is the highest award that a council can be recognized as on a national level, which is a pretty big deal. And we were also awarded as a Unified Champion School because we have unified sports at our school, and we do it at an adequate level, and we do it at a high level, and stuff like that. And we also had 3 Commonwealth Award winners, which are given to students with exceptional leadership within the student council. And this award was given to Madeline Schmeek, Isabel Cannon, and myself.
Hey, congratulations. I want to make note for the committee, there's like over 250 student councils in the state of Massachusetts, and only like a very, very small handful are awarded as Gold Councils of Excellence. So that's a pretty big deal. That's a really, really good testament to the hard work that you all put in. So congratulations.
It was down to hands, right?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Cool.
Can I ask something? Do you compile a binder? Is that what gets judged?
So we have like a binder with a bunch of these different like indicators is what they call them, and then we have to respond to the prompts they give us. If each indicator is worth a certain amount of points, and that if you collect 48 out of the 50 points available, then you're awarded as a Gold Council of Excellence. And we got 49 out of 50 points.
Wow.
So we
That's awesome.
did pretty good, and yeah, so that's like how it works.
Awesome.
And knowing you all and knowing Ms. Vitez, they're probably all saying, what's that 1 point?
Yeah.
I actually know the 1 point. There's an MASC event that we can't attend because we have a student council event here, and we have the Halloween Fun Fest, and we can't go to another place to attend an MASC event that would give us a point when we have stuff to do.
Makes sense.
Well, they're working on their own student.
I know. It feels like they set you up for that. You got your goal. That's awesome. Congratulations. Yep. Thank you both.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well.
Okay. We're going to move on to our informational. I'll turn it on over to you, Dr. Sullivan.
Yeah, I have some pictures of what my 2 amazing representatives presented. Awesome. Oh, thanks, everyone. So, first of all, I want to highlight Read Across America. I know Principal McNeil mentioned it, but it's happening at every single school. This is right here. I have a short video I'm not going to show it to you for time's sake, but I'll send it to the community so you can get a good laugh on it. But these are, this is Principal Hubbard and Assistant Principal McNeely, and the reading wizard and Paige Turner. You can see the name.
Outstanding costume.
It was an outstanding presentation, but these things are happening at every level. You know, Principal Neal talked about the baseball challenge happening here. We had, you can see Senator O'Connor read this morning at South River School. That was amazing. We had, I forget what it's called, but it's like socks. Oh, beat your socks off. That's what it's called at Martinson. And we have events happening at Amesway as well.
Can I very, very quickly just say, a state senator's district has, this one has 8 communities in it with like 170,000 people. So the fact that our state senator took time to be in Marshfield today, I just want to thank him. I mean, he's awesome, and that was very, very kind of him to be there.
And he connected so well, it's not surprising, he connected so well with the kids, listened to everything they had to say,
Yeah.
asked them what they wanted to be when they grew up, read a book about a koala bear, and it was fantastic. He was
Awesome.
Great job.
Great.
And thank you, Senator O'Connor. This is the art throwdown, and you can see the kids come together in a timed fashion, and they create art with everyday objects. And this is some of the things that came out, some of the art that came out of it. It's always an amazing event.
Is that middle school and high school?
Middle school, night.
That's cool.
Where are all those pieces now?
That's a good question. I don't know where they are. Are they around? Some of them are in the hall of the high school.
Are they?
Yeah,
I would like to see them.
yes. I think you go into the hall, like near the last show, remember they had them right around the auditorium. This is the student council. Some pictures from it. You can see one of our student representatives here. Great event. Really very proud. They should be of their achievements. Winter athletics. All of our winter athletics were extremely successful. Some groups went pretty far into the tournament, and we should be very proud. They should be very proud of themselves, and we're certainly very proud of our coaches and our teams. So it was fantastic. And I didn't put it on here, but as Sophie mentioned, the drama group did a fantastic job down in Moore and moving to the semifinals, which is a big deal for a public school.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get to the semifinals.
And hosting it too.
Yeah, and fingers crossed that we can get maybe to the finals. So that other group ever done that. Very few public schools have been able to do it, so we're pushing for it. And that's it.
Awesome. Great, thank you. Dr. Martin?
Just a few things. SEL, the steering team, after researching all of those programs, narrowing it down to 4, they spent an entire day listening to 4 vendors about their programs and resources. And then yesterday, we met as a team and narrowed the selections down to 2, which are Wayfinder and Ruler. And I'm meeting with the Wayfinder rep tomorrow, so we're hoping to start field testing as soon as next week. So we'll keep you posted on that. We're very excited. Just a reminder that MCAS is approaching, and we are trying to get the word out to our students and families that even though it's not used for competency determination, we still use the results. We still have accountability with the state as a district. That is public. And then, so we still want to make sure our students are participating in the test. So we're trying to promote that. I know Assistant Principal Robin G. Jennings and Sarah Alvarico in the high school have written letters and they have class meetings. Just trying to get the students prepared for that assessment. And then on a positive note, Mean Girls Junior at Burns Brook is this weekend. Friday and Saturday this weekend and Friday and Saturday.
Are the girls in it?
No, well, Ella is part of the costume.
The two next to me.
Because she's going to be the fashion designer, so
Yes.
she is in the back.
That's a very natural fit. Nice, that's awesome. Cool. Exciting.
A big compliment to Dr. Martin for running the SEL choosing committee. It's a very comprehensive group, totally in good hands. They had a good angle on what the district needs, and Dr. Martin did a great job. So,
Awesome, thank you.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
You mentioned field testing. Can you just explain?
Oh, it's like what we used to call pilot, but it's much shorter.
Okay.
So what they will do, they already have demo accounts, like, so you find yours fully
Who's they?
online. The steering committee members.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is open it up to other people who might be interested in trying this out with students. So they will
Oh, that's great.
take the materials, try it out with students. Right now, the steering team members are putting together a slide for me that what they want to see out of the field test.
Mm-hmm.
So between our rubric, our vision, and those bullet points, we will develop surveys that the teachers who are implementing will complete throughout the field test, and then the students will also complete the survey a couple of times throughout the field test. And then we'll have actual data to help make that final decision.
How many students do you think it takes to have actual data that is real?
It's going to depend on how many people come forward to, how many teachers come forward to learn how to use.
And that's just by choice? They'll say like, I'll do it.
Yeah, the steering team is they're pretty committed to doing this, but
Okay.
for example, at Burns Brook, we only have 2 teacher representatives that are on the steering team, because the steering team is not that big. And so we want to try and branch that out to some of the core content areas like English or science or math. And then the high school only has a small, contingency on the group, so we want to make sure that we have as many people as possible. So Wednesday, tomorrow, those are Friday days, we're meeting with the leadership team at Middle and High School to try and plan out what this field test might look like, because they typically have never gone through a field test in this district at those two levels.
Okay.
Math did it, but that was a very small group. So this is going.
Do you remember how many students were in that group?
It was all of the math teachers at that, no, 3 math teachers at that point. It was 6th, 7th, and 8th that all did it with all of their classes.
Okay.
And then those students filled out the surveys at the end, and that helped them inform their decision to go with Western math. Or I can't remember the other one that was against it. So, yeah, so we're going to.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
It gives the leaders a chance to think about with their teams, how they may implement this, because they're a little different at every level. So we want to try to field test in a way that gives us an insight into.
Well, yeah, that's why I was asking. Yeah.
In the building.
And we want consistency so that even across our 5 elementaries, we want them to all pilot the same kind of unit, the same types of resources, so that we can get a big picture, so that people aren't doing different things. We want to know, across the board what it looks like and how our students felt about it, and see if there was a difference.
We're going to get some community input from the line team, and also some input from my student advisory council, the large one. So we'll have some thoughts.
Thank you.
Ms. Clark?
I just have a quick update on kindergarten registration for 2016.
Exciting.
Yeah.
What are you talking about that?
So Marshfield is moving to online kindergarten registration to Aspen for the 26-27 school year. So this will offer a much more streamlined process for families and front office staff members moving forward. So front office staff at elementary schools will be trained in the registration process tomorrow afternoon. And registration will officially open this Thursday, March 12th. Notices with detailed information and step-by-step directions for completing the online registration will be sent to MTSB families on Thursday morning. And will be included in the superintendent's newsletter and all the school newsletters this Friday. In addition, the information will go to all the local preschools. So once registration is open, we really appreciate families completing the process as soon as possible, as it's essential to have a good understanding of kindergarten enrollment for planning purposes. I just want to thank Tom Miller, Dave Cockle, our Director of Technology, Mike Rich, our District Data and Assessment Specialist, and Cindy Whipple, the Administrative Assistant in the Student Services Office, for their hard work in preparing us for this shift to online. It was a lot. Children are eligible for kindergarten if they will be 5 years old by August 31st. So all of that information is coming out this Thursday.
Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. Mr. Miller?
A couple things. Quick budget update. You've been following along. Last week there was an advisory board, select board budget meeting. Sullivan and Stetson were there as well. The budget is a little bit, obviously the town budget is in a bit of a holding pattern. As you know, it's our interim town administrator, Charlie Sumner. He presented a draft budget that has a $7.4 million deficit for the town. So not a good situation at all. There's a meeting tomorrow evening with the select board where Charlie will make some further presentations on that number and how the town is going to look to possibly try to remediate that. I just want to give a thank you to Charlie, Peter Morin, Megan May, the town accountant. They've been doing a really good job in this process, a difficult process, obviously. So we're still awaiting what that is going to mean for the district. Dr. Sullivan and I have a meeting with Charlie and Peter on Thursday, and we'll get a little bit better indication after tomorrow night and Thursday where we stand. So, we also have a capital budget meeting next Wednesday. So, but in the meeting meeting last week, it's pretty apparent there's not going to be a whole lot of capital going around. I mean, I know the town's going to be looking at pulling some old articles. There's very little free cash. But one of the issues that we've gotten into as a town is borrowing for a lot of our non-excluded debt. And that's one thing that Charlie has repeated numerous times, that we have about $4 million in non-excluded debt. That's part of our operating budget. So that's something you typically wouldn't see in other communities. So that's where we are in budget. We're doing all the work behind the scenes on our end, not knowing how this is going to play out. So, and then just quick update on there's a agenda item for some contracts, but the Murchison Roof project, the bids did close. We were underbid across the board, under project budget with all 4 alternates, which is a great thing. So we were able to accept all 4 alternates. Right now, our OPM is working with the GGC winner of the bid on formulating the contract and making sure everything's all set. So that contract will hopefully be coming to the committee at our next meeting. So, and then we will have a kickoff meeting with GC at some point. And I've made it clear that Mr. Greer is going to be invited to that.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've made it clear a couple times. So, and then lastly, road race.
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day on Saturday, 10 a.m.
Tom Miller's Christmas Super Bowl. Tom Miller's Super Bowl.
Yeah, so question on the race, what's up with the shirts?
I just want to publicly thank the police, public safety, DPW for allowing us. There was it was a little sketchy there for a little bit after the blizzard, but we're looking pretty decent right now, except for a little issue on Plymouth Ave, but we'll
Is
take care of
that
that. What's that?
potholes?
There's a few potholes, but we'll be okay there. Plymouth Ave's under the water, so. We're keeping our fingers crossed on there, and
The boat builders, kids,
yeah,
have their boats there.
should be
Very
Make it a tryout?
yeah.
Sean, quick question on the shirts and numbers.
Yes.
Is that marathon sports?
Marathon Sports tomorrow and Thursday, 4 to 7, and then Stellwagen 5 to 8 on Friday, and then day up.
Cool. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Always a great day. Awesome. Any subcommittee reports this time? No. Okay. Seeing none, we've reached the point of the meeting for public participation. If any member of the public wishes to address the committee, please step forward and do so at this time. Seeing none, Mr. Raymond, our MEA update.
Hello, everybody.
How are you? How'd you do with Snowmageddon?
We're all right. This power.
Wow.
It's incredible. Right now. I'm thanking every deity I can think of. We did have a tree that very nasty one fall in our driveway, and I had to move the cars out of the way. And then they're not worth much. They would have been total. So pretty happy about that. And then everybody was able to get good. We had neighbors who were cops in town, police officers in town. It was incredible. So God bless them. Speaking of people that matter, good evening, everyone. Happy spring to you. I hope that you guys are adjusting to the time change better than my father is. Me, for that matter. Forgive my affect. It's not you, it's me. Nice to be back at Daniel Webster School. I see I've got quite the audience, which I prefer personally. Tonight I'm happy to share some heartfelt appreciation for Kate Prendergast, a beloved kindergarten teacher here at Daniel Webster. MEA Representative Jessica Farrell and Laura Hines raised Ms. Prendergast, quote, on behalf of the MEA, we would like to recognize and celebrate our colleague Katie Prendergast for her outstanding dedication to students, staff, and the community of Daniel Webster School. Katie has devoted more than 25 years to teaching kindergarten, infusing creativity, and showing compassion to the youngest members of our school community. Her heart of gold is evident in every aspect of her work. Katie's care for her students is truly unparalleled, and she creates a classroom environment where children are excited to learn. One of the many ways Katie enriches our school community is through the joyful performances her kindergarten students share during our seasonal assemblies. year, Katie works diligently with her students to learn songs and poems and highlight their learning, celebrate their unique personalities, and give them a sense of belonging to the larger DWS community. Their performances never fail to bring smiles to the faces of students and adults alike, reminding us all of the joy and spirit that our youngest learners bring to school. Katie's kindness also extends beyond the classroom. Each winter, she spearheads the creation of a hat and mitten tree, a bright and welcoming presence in our school lobby. This thoughtful initiative ensures that any child who needs a warm hat or pair of mittens can quietly and respectfully take what they need. Additionally, Katie attends every school function to support her students and Daniel Webster School. Whether it is the back-to-school picnic, the pumpkin run, or pizza bingo, and this is such cool stuff. Katie is there to welcome and support her students and their families. In doing so, Katie serves each and every child, helping to keep them warm during colder months. DWS and the Marshfield Education Association are proud to recognize her for her lifetime of contributions. End quote. No distinction should be made between the quality of education our students receive and the quality of the educators standing before them. They are one and the same. Marshfield is spoiled for talented and compassionate educators who, like Katie Prendergast, faithfully fulfill their duties to our kids far beyond the myriad expectations and responsibilities of their job descriptions. It is the shared and equal responsibility of the association, the committee, and the town to ensure this service to students continues for many years to come. As always, thank you for your continued support of the students and staff of Marshfield Public Schools. It's St. Patrick's Day. Thank you for your time. I'm going to stick around to just listen to the talks about Good Friday.
I'm going to take that item out of order next. Is there anything the association would like to say?
Not officially. I want to be very careful, not officially.
Sure.
But I will otherwise speak.
Gotcha.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate
Chairman. To put it in perspective, Katie Prendergast was my sister's kindergarten teacher in 1998. So we love Mrs. Prendergast in Costello. She's wonderful. Yes, you're very lucky to have her here. So well said, Mr. Ray. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to take that item first out of order, the discussion of possible early release day on Good Friday. Obviously, with the snowstorms and everything, our schedule had been pushed back quite a bit for school, and right now, as it stands, the last day of school would be Monday, June 29th. So you would be bringing students and staff back to school for one day in a week where things like camps are starting, and I'm sure families have trips planned and staff have trips planned, and all of these things, it's just a logistical nightmare. So Dr. Sullivan and I were chatting this week, and I asked him if we could place this on the agenda as a way to maybe avoid having to go back on the 29th, especially where, to be quite frank with you, I don't think many students would come to school. And I think we'd be in a position where staff would be looking to try and take the day. It would just be a mess logistically because of the timing. So that's why it's on the agenda. I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to add.
No, well, I just want to add, we've talked about all along a pattern of having a conversation and then bring it up for a vote the next meeting. We really don't have that luxury.
We can't do that.
Because we have to impact bargaining. It's our duty to impact bargain with the MEA, but also
it's our pleasure to.
It's our pleasure, I guess. And also the custodians.
Yes.
And I believe our van drivers have it in their contract as well. So there's some work to do for our committee to be able to impact bargain with those groups in order to allow this to happen. If you decide you want to go that direction. We just don't have the luxury of having a conversation and then bringing it for a vote. And I know this is an issue that impacts a lot of folks, who have planned something on that day, and also who, obviously observe it religiously. So I leave it to the committee. This is, in my view, a very special circumstance.
Yes.
And it would be the committee's job to decide if you want to, in the future years, to discuss it. But this is a unique situation.
So I think, and to raise a couple.
Your job.
The headshake was for future years.
I know, I get it.
To raise a couple of questions that have been raised to me since then is, first of all, folks who are looking for a religious exemption for the day. I mean, that's something that we absolutely would need to bargain.
Yes, one of the things, having done this in my previous district, you do have to make sure you have enough staff who are going to be there. And then you have to make sure there are enough students there to cover this day as well.
That was my question. So what is the amount of students? Is it a percentage of your population?
Yeah, I have to look.
I used to know, actually.
But we do have to make sure that there are enough students.
Right. Any other questions? The other piece of it too is a question that was raised via email was how it impacts the block scheduling at the high school. Because right now there's a plan for the way the block scheduling is laying out, and this would kind of throw a wrench into all of that. So there are some logistical items that would need to be figured out.
And that would be figured out in the impact bargain.
Right, exactly.
So really the task here is to determine if the committee has an appetite for going into impact bargaining with those groups.
And Mr. Herrera, you are the bargaining subcommittee
Yeah,
chairperson.
it's feeling I'm going to receive the impacts of Mr. Randall if we propose this.
That would be my obligation. I would say though that my, what I'd be willing to say is to help out. I want to be very careful to not renegotiate and sell out anyone who might not agree with this that I have to represent. The NEA would like to talk about, those impacts we would talk about within those negotiations, but we're open to that.
Great, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, that'll be a separate meeting from our usual.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so the questions I have, how many hours do you need of school to call it a day? So for example, like you just say, for like immersion learning lessons, you need so many days of seat time, you can actually get 2 days in a day.
There is a specific, I don't know if you know it or you know it.
There's a minimum hours per year,
900, right?
900 and 990.
Well, yeah, and we're over that, even with the half day for, and when I say half day, it's really, the thought could be a day like Thanksgiving or the last day of school where lunch is not served and we have that dismissal schedule.
Or is it possible we can fit 2 days in a single day?
What do you mean?
Do you have to do hours and 180 days?
Have
you're
to do
saying
180 days.
We're over on hours, but we wouldn't have 180
Correct.
days.
But what is a day? Is it a calendar day, or is it a certain number of hours?
One day would be one calendar day, and that's the department.
Okay, that's my question. Certain entities view a 4-hour period as being a day, and then you take a break, and then you can do another 4 hours in a day.
I'd be shocked if Desi even listens to.
I get why you're saying that,
I
though,
do too.
because for students to have credit for the day, they need to be in school, like, I think the high school is like 11:30 or something. And they still get credit for going to school that day, so I understand why.
Well,
you're saying
the precedent of what we
But-
have for, the precedent we have for pre-Thanksgiving and the last day of school have traditionally been accepted as a day. So that's what we would probably opt to mirror. Negotiations, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just looking, I'm asking questions, because I'm the one that has to go in and negotiate. So, can we get a waiver from the state for that?
The state would probably not issue a waiver to us at this point because there's still a couple of days that we would have as a buffer. If there was another snowstorm, then the state would likely start listening.
Yeah, we still have, you can go to the 30, the last day.
Yeah, 30.
Well, I'm thinking of contingencies, just say we didn't take Good Friday off, and we have a day, just say, we have a flood, or we have, something to do.
Yeah, well, another weather event is
Another
not out of
related
the
event,
question.
right, so if we get that other weather-related event, so the superintendent's canceled school, then it pushes us out, not to mention any names, right, but that would push us up a lot beyond June 30.
I believe if it's beyond, I forget which date in March, you don't have to make it up. So if we had a weather danger after a certain, do you know the date?
I think you're
I
right.
think it's, I thought it was in April.
Really?
I thought it was, yeah, there's a date where if
Can you
you,
just post it, like a couple weeks ago?
Because there were rumblings that it was a state emergency, that they would do that, but that's not.
we have.
That's not, I have seen
The commissioner on his call didn't mention anything about it.
Well, we're still within the contract, right, so.
We're within the contract, we're within the allotted amount of days that we can go to school via DESI, which is to the end of June.
Yeah, so if we push on beyond the 30th, into July.
You can't.
legally.
Well, I know that, but I mean.
At that point, we would go to DESI for a waiver.
Okay, That's my question.
Any other questions?
Ellen, were you going to say something?
No, that was what I was going to say.
Okay.
It's a tricky one, you feel like trying to get the people who would be excited to do it, and people who don't.
Through
But
March 31st.
if,
March 31st.
March 31st.
if teachers had travel plans and they had, non-refundable things or something, would that be something that they could bring?
That would be at the
Right, for
discretion of the
weekends,
superintendent, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's totally on a case-by-case basis, as it
Right.
typically is with issues like that.
Yeah, it actually would be difficult.
Okay, right.
Staff would be committee.
Families, students, and families, right. So she had asked specifically about staff, so that's, yeah. Any other questions, comments? Personally, I'm in favor of this. I think
Well, yeah, so
it's making the best of a bad situation.
I've heard from several families that they're camp booked.
Yeah,
And even
Right.
though you worry about kids not going to, kids want to go to the last day of school, especially elementary school kids, I think that's like.
Oh, of course.
a big thing.
Want to say bye to their teachers?
Yeah.
Bye, Miss McNeil.
Right, clap, yeah.
Yeah, the clap up, right? You have all that fun stuff.
Well, it is a unique thought to have to go to 29, which is the money.
Yeah, this is
The
a
problem is,
unique situation.
yeah, if we have one more day, that puts, 181 or 182, depending on contracts, right, so it's really the 29th of the cutoff.
No, 30. Oh, you mean because,
But the teachers have to come in the day after, or
no.
they can't be done on the same day as the
They've done the same days.
So just start there.
That's exactly it.
Well, there's different levels of done, like if that work, I ask people if something's done, I'm like, okay, it's done, well, it's kind of like, well, it's done.
No, they're not obligated to come in. It's covered.
Any other thoughts on this? I'm ready to accept a motion on this if the committee feels the same way. Sure.
So the motion,
The motion would be to enter into impact bargaining to potentially declare an early release day on Good Friday, with the new last day of school being the 26th of June. Is there a motion on the floor? So moved from Sprague. Is there a second?
This is pending negotiations.
Pending negotiations. It's to enter into negotiation, impact bargaining. Yes.
Oh, to enter into impact bargaining.
Correct.
I'll
So
second.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brayton, second by Mrs. Dargan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your
One
hands.
quick question before we do that. Is this going to come back after we vote?
for a final vote,
Yep.
I don't believe, we'd have to determine that.
It would be the committee's intent to agree to that in impact bargaining.
That
So
way,
Okay, I just want to
our
clarify.
vote is to do this,
Okay.
pending the impact bargaining.
Right.
So this committee does not need to vote something again that we've already voted.
it may not materialize because of impact bargaining. But if it does,
And we don't have to revisit.
you should.
That's the only question.
Yep, no, it's a good clarifying question. So that motion has been made, seconded. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand, saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Okay, 3-0-1. Thank you.
That should include the custodial unit and the van driver unit as well.
Yes, thank you.
The extra Friday education.
Got it. Thank you very much. And we can just do a sweep to make sure that we've got everybody.
Yeah, that would be it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You abstain.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Greer abstains. Okay, we'll just go reverse. Mr. Miller, do you want to talk about the amendments to the Martins and the Roof project?
Sure, real quick, this is the final amendment on the owner's project manager and our architectural design services contracts leading up to 100% construction plans. So, yeah, just a vote to approve the third amendment on the designer services contract and the third amendment on the project management service contract with Martin Stern.
Yeah, so why, I mean, I read it, but
Do you need two separate motions?
I think one more.
Okay.
Can you repeat one more time? Sorry. What are the two votes? Tom, can you repeat them one more time so I can type them?
Oh, sorry. Vote to approve the third amendment on the designer services contract and project management services contract for Martin Elementary Roof Project.
Would anybody like to make a motion for that before we discuss So the language is on the floor.
Yeah, motion approved.
So moved by Mr. Greer, is there a second? Second from Mrs. Brady. Anybody wishing to discuss?
Yeah, I do. I just want the two amounts, the 163,600 and 10,300 clarified.
Is that,
I want the amount of the change, like drill into that, like why?
this isn't a change, this has been done in steps. It's, well, off the top of my head, the first contract was for the initial.
Okay, so we're going through the
I
project.
forgot what the first contract was for
That's fine.
this, then it was 60%, then it was 100%.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You get it? You good?
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions or comments? Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand saying aye. Aye. Opposed and abstaining, it's 4-0-0. Thank you, Mr. Miller. Our final item tonight does not require a vote, but it is a presentation that I asked Superintendent Sullivan to do as we are honing our practices on the evaluation of the superintendent. Part of the best practices that other committees take on an annual basis is to do a mid-cycle check-in. This is an update from the superintendent, a brief update in which he will go through the pieces of his goals for the year, and if anybody has any questions on them, you can ask them. If not, he will move on. So, Dr. Sullivan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and I will go pretty quickly here.
I think you use the arrows, it's better. Oh, yeah, there you go.
So as you remember, we've done the first two cycles where I worked with the subcommittee to create my goals and create a plan. And we've been in cycle 3, which is the implementation. And this is just a brief mid-cycle public meeting. There can be a series of meetings. So if you do have questions on anything, and I'm not going to go into everything in this, but you have it in your folder. And if you have questions about any of the evidence that's linked in there, I can always come back and it can be a future agenda item at another meeting. But we're just looking at my progress, and then, as I did last year, I created an end-of-cycle report, which has some focus areas that the committee, my subcommittee, will identify, and we drill down into that in the evaluation. Again, this is a goal review, so really what I'm looking at are my goals. My first one, again, is regarding belonging. Remember, some of these goals are carried over from last year, and some of them are new. And a couple of them have direct reference to my self-assessment, which is what it's supposed to have in the whole layout of the superintendent evaluation. So the first goal here is collaborating with the belonging team to foster a strong sense of belonging. One of the key features to this year is the work that Dr. Martin is spearheading and I'm a part of, picking a social-emotional learning platform, very true to our strategic plan, making sure that we fulfill that and implement it as appropriate. And Dr. Martin updated on that, so I don't have a lot to say here, except there's also ongoing building work, and you can see some of this has to do with culturally responsive practices, which we were looking at as an additional look-fors in our learning walks. We've continued our learning walks, and I put evidence in there to show you that we've done that. I believe every building has had 2 learning walks involving teachers and staff. That's been great. They've been really a major part this year in leading it. And we're looking for student engagement and those culturally responsive look-fors. With next year, really focusing on what cultural responsive teaching is, which really, it equates to building relationships with your students, explicit instruction, and making sure that everybody's connected. It's a really, really great thing for good instruction. And that's part of, again, that's all in our strategic plan. I'm not making this up. This is something that Marshfield had set ahead of me, and I'm just fulfilling that goal. Our second student learning, my second goal was to really, this is a new goal, but really to look at data. I'm pretty proud, I'm very proud of the way this is developing. I don't take credit for it, but I'm a piece of the puzzle here, where many people are working to create data teams at the building level, data teams from a district level, and being able to look at data and get a state of the data next year, we're really pushing for, where we can look at it overarchingly and then drill down into the buildings, using tools like Forefront at the elementary, Mastery Connect at the middle and high school, and we're ongoing conversations and piloting those to create data, along with our performance assessments at all levels. And then, of course, at the elementaries, you have Dibbles, you have iReady, and you have a whole slew of data that's being looked at carefully, led by Dr. Martin and others. And then we have a whole series of MTSS data, which Amy McAlpine's working with Amy Solaro. Anybody named Amy is working. We have
A lot of really great Amy's.
we have a whole group of people really looking at that, and we'll drill into that a little more next year. But you can see the data check-ins I put in here. I put in our MTS action plans at every level as evidence, and then some reflection pieces around the data. Stop me if you want to drill into anything. And I think more useful with the time we have is if there's anything you'd like me to bring back to another meeting and tell you a little bit more about how we're doing it, that might be more useful for us. But this is just by way of review, so I'm not going to stop and keep going.
I think, Dr. Sullivan, very quickly, this is a great way to review the process and to continue to do it throughout the year, because we're going to be evaluating him in just a few months, and the best way to do that is to be clear and communicative with him if this is meeting the expectations of the committee, and also to use this as to determine what we're going to use as our indicators on how we're evaluating him. So please keep those things in mind. That doesn't mean you have to make these decisions today. It's just something to remember that we have to be focused on.
The next piece is the student voice piece, and you can see some of the overlap in our in the work we're doing with belonging. I love the presentation like tonight. You can really see how the student voice and belonging work coming together. Again, I don't take credit for it, but the buildings are doing this really well. And you're hearing students voicing things proactively and more prominently.
Well, I was just going to say that a big indicator of whether or not a student feels that they belong is if they feel brave enough to step up and talk about their experience. And when I asked that question to a group of students who are ages 9 to 11, so many hands shot up right away. It was really great to see.
Well, you can see how energized and empowered they were. And that's the idea,
Right.
is to get their voices in all of this. That really creates agency for the students. And then the last one is something that, this I don't have to tell this group we're very immersed in, but we have some pretty hefty and ongoing negotiations happening with the town regarding all of our budget scenarios, our capital budget scenario, our teachers and nurses unit, our tutor unit, which we start Thursday. It's Thursday?
Tomorrow.
We have that coming up. And then, we have, and then we have our assistant principal one coming up.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm willing to talk about anything you want, but I certainly come back and talk about more as we think about it.
It's a nice snapshot of what you're working on and just the evidence that you are working on all of these things, which of course none of us doubted, but it's just nice to be able to see it and go through that public process. Because everybody knows Massachusetts is actually the only state in the entire country where the evaluative process of the superintendent has to be conducted 100% public. So we can always do better as a group, I think we know that. And this is a way that we can do better on this particular piece of one of the major 4 things that we focus on, which is the evaluation of the superintendent. So I asked Dr. Sullivan to put that on. He was enthusiastically in support of doing that, and he would like to continue that conversation, which I appreciate. Anybody have any comments, questions?
No, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
It's easier for us when you break it down. It's not just one thing, but exactly. It's easier to digest.
Yeah, because by the end of the year, there's so much information.
So much, right?
Any other, that's our final business. Is there a motion to adjourn? Our next meeting is March 31st at the Granitino Early Education Center. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Mr. Greer, is there a second? Second from Mrs. Brake. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand saying aye. Aye. Opposed and abstaining, this meeting is adjourned.